Turns out that Aleister's groin injury, the one I mentioned last week, the one he had surgery for, it's going to keep him out of TakeOver. He is officially off the card. He's probably going to be out until about October or so. Regal has since posted a video announcing that the new match for TakeOver, the new main event, will be Johnny Gargano challenging Tommaso Ciampa one-on-one for the NXT title in a last man standing match. And Gargano will be going 4 for 4 in TakeOver main events this year on this Brooklyn show. I mean, I guess he would have even without the injury to Alistair Black. He still would have been part of the main event. But out of 4 TakeOver shows so far this year, including this one, Johnny Gargano will have headlined all 4 of them in singles matches. Once with Andrade Cien Almas at the beginning of the year, which in my opinion is the greatest match in NXT history. And the other 3 with Tommaso Ciampa. Anyway, what they did to explain the injury to Alistair, I thought was very smart. They took a bad turn of events here. They lost one of their main eventers in the main event of their next big, basically pay-per-view show, and they have managed to turn it into something interesting just by a couple of social media videos. He was attacked in the parking lot by a mystery assailant. Not exactly an original idea, not the first time we've seen something like this in WWE. But the whole WHODUNNIT angle, I think, makes for a good story, provided they have an idea on how they're going to follow up on it. Hideo Itami, he was also left laying in a parking lot once upon a time. We never did find out who attacked him. Actually, Itami posted a funny tweet about this when the news broke. He actually quote tweeted the announcement of Alistair being attacked, and all he said was, "Parking lots are unsafe." And I thought, you know, if anybody would know that, it's Hideo Itami. He's not wrong. But I just remember Kevin Owens walking by with his gym bag slung over his shoulder as Hideo was just writhing on the ground in the parking lot in pain. You know, and Owens just walks by and just goes, that's a shame. And he just keeps walking. It probably would have been Kevin Owens too, but Itami, if you remember, you know, he ended up needing 2 surgeries. The first one didn't take, or there were complications. He had to have a follow-up surgery, and it takes a long time. Anybody who's ever had shoulder surgery, I know people who have, that takes a long time to recover from. So he was out for something like 18 months. And by then, Owens was long gone. Black's only supposed to be out for a couple of months, so hopefully they have an actual plan for this. I also like the video that the second one that they uploaded to YouTube, which was footage shot immediately after the attack. Someone on their smartphone just walking by, and we see all of these different NXT stars walking around, and we're supposed to figure out which one of them might be responsible for attacking Aleister Black. We see Tommaso Ciampa walking by with the title, looking at it, staring at it like a psychopath. Actually, I think Johnny Gargano was also shown walking into the building just as they were heading out to the parking lot to see what all the commotion was about. So what was he doing, right? Where was he coming from? Heavy Machinery, Otis and Tucker, they were out there. Shayna Baszler was there. Ricochet, they interviewed him. He was getting into a car. He looked like he just got woken up from a slumber. EC3 was there. Interestingly, you can make out Lars Sullivan. We have not seen Lars Sullivan since, I guess, what was it, TakeOver in June? He had a match with Alistair Black, ironically enough. But if you look in the background, when the camera is showing Alistair on the ground, you can see Lars Sullivan. He's wearing a yellow shirt. He is slowly walking away from the scene. Kairi Sane is there. She's sitting at a table chatting with Candice LeRae when Cassius Ohno walks over to join them. The camera guy asks him, "Hey, did you see what happened?" And Ohno reacts in kind of an odd way. There's a pause of about a second or two before he finally nods his head as if to say no. Like no, I don't know anything. I could have sworn also here I saw Gunner from TNA walk by. I'm pretty sure it was him. I know he signed with them a while ago. He just hasn't debuted yet, but he's walking by. I said, boy, that looks like Gunner from TNA. The camera caught Kona Reeves is standing by. He's FaceTiming somebody on his phone, and he tells the camera guy, "Oh, get out of here." You know, he tells him, "Kick rocks, dirtbag." Kick Rocks Dirtbag. He sounded like a bully from one of those lame after-school anti-drug PSAs that you would see on TV in the early 90s. You know, like, I'm not a chicken, you're a turkey, or what was that one? Right, just say no to drugs, I'm not a chicken, you're a turkey, or something like that. I still firmly believe those commercials made people, they drove kids to drugs, as opposed to convincing them not to take any. So the question here is, who done it? Who done it? Rikishi ran down Stone Cold, we know that. We never did find out who blew up Vince McMahon's limousine or who attacked Hideo Itami, but who attacked Alistair Black? Well, I have 3 possible answers of my own. I say that Gargano and Ciampa, I take them off the table. They're too obvious, although Ciampa would obviously make sense, right? Actually, both guys would make sense. But I'm taking them off the table. I just think they're too obvious. Lars Sullivan, he's also kind of obvious, but I think it probably makes the most sense with him. They showed him, like I said, he was off in the distance walking away. We have not seen him. We have not heard from him since having his jaw broken in storyline. It was not a real injury. But the story is that in his match with Alistair Black at TakeOver, I guess when he got hit with that phantom black mass kick that he sold anyway, that he had his jaw broken in Chicago. So what better way for him to gain revenge than by running, Black into the ground, by ruining his chances of getting back his championship. So I think if you're going to make a short list, Lars Sullivan needs to be on that list. Now, like Ciampa and Gargano, I think that one maybe is a little too obvious. I wouldn't go for such an obvious answer with this. I would go for something a little out of left field here. And how about this name? How about Cassius Ohno? Here's a guy who has been on the back burner for a while now. He has taken a back seat to all of these other, indie darlings after he left NXT, only to come back and do what? What has he done since coming back to NXT? I know this. I know he's lost more than a few matches. He's lost more than he's won. Watch his mannerisms and watch his reactions during his match and after his match last week on NXT. That is the look of a man who is about to blow a gasket. You factor in his weird reaction in this video here, and I think we have the makings of a Cassius Ohno heel turn. He is probably my number 1 pick right now as far as, who done it, who's going to be revealed in the end. He's probably at the top of my list right now. The guy needs something. This could be it. This could be exactly what he needs. Now, the third person I thought of is the one who wasn't even in the video. We have to also think, well, if they really wanted to swerve everybody, who says it had to be somebody who was filmed, right? It doesn't have to be somebody who we saw in that video. It could be somebody who was not on camera. It could be somebody new who perhaps we haven't even seen yet. So I start thinking about this, and I think to myself, well, who would fit that criteria then, right? Who would fall into that category? What about Matt Riddle? We know he's about to make his debut. We know he's coming in soon. He'll probably be there. In fact, I'd be shocked if he wasn't there in some form on that show next Saturday. He's going to be massively over when he debuts. We know that. What better way to shock people and to get him involved in a big feud right out of the gate than to show camera footage at some point of Matt Riddle attacking Alistair Black in the parking lot. Maybe it was a weed deal gone bad. We don't know. So my short list has Sullivan, Ohno, and Riddle. Riddle's sort of the wild card here, but I'll throw him in there. Those are my picks, although I am leaning heavily towards Cassius Ohno. And hey, there's always Randy Orton. He did say on SmackDown that he was going to take out all of our favorites. Right? Maybe he whipped his dick out and touched it and told Alistair Black to shake his hand, and Alistair refused, and so he laid him out. I'm just saying, it can't be ruled out.